I'm just going to talk about pornography and how to not watch. Oh, I need to filter my words. I want to be careful with the words that I use. Although in person I'd probably say the words exactly how they are. Although as a joke I would sometimes not say the words correctly. For example, pornography or Cornelius instead of pornography. So I mean, I'm listening to this man on YouTube named Tony Gaskins, and he's a life coach and an author, and he has a lot of businesses. So him filtering out his words, I actually got that from him, where I'm saying pornography instead of using the P at the beginning. So I'm going to just talk about how to stop watching it in the middle of your temptation. And as somebody who would watch it and was addicted to it, one thing that I noticed is to not give in to the feeling, which is really difficult to do because you can feel, let's say you don't want to watch it at all, you want to be free of that, and then you do anything, you do something, and for example you haven't even watched it in 6 months or a year or a month or 2 weeks or however long you've gone without watching it, and you're thinking, okay, no, that last time was the last time that I'm ever watching it. But then you're just doing anything, whatever it is you're doing, and you are tempted, you get tempted, you face temptation, and you're thinking, oh wow, I really feel like doing it, but I know I shouldn't. But you're feeling it's I'm not looking at notes, by the way. So I'm not sure how exactly I'm going to word this. I remember before starting this video, I was praying to God saying, listen, you're going to need to speak through me. And so I'm just rolling with it, but I'm also pretty nervous, so that is why. Moving on, we are going to continue. So yeah, okay, that was a filler word. I also don't want to use filler words. Anyway, I'm being really hard on myself right now. This is my first YouTube video since the last time I tried to make a YouTube video, which was years ago. Okay, you're in the bathroom, for example, and you took a shower. You didn't do anything. You didn't play with yourself, but you're just facing temptation, and it just came seemingly out of nowhere. Even though it doesn't just come out of nowhere, but it can just seem like it came out of nowhere. And you are feeling good already, and you're thinking of what you're gonna search for. You're thinking of the videos. You're thinking, wow, when I search for whatever I search for on either Instagram, Twitter, or the dirty websites, you're thinking, for example, you're gonna search, watch whatever the things are that you like to watch or liked to watch, because you're trying to move away from that lifestyle, that way of living, and you're fantasizing before it's even happened, and you're getting excited. That's where we go wrong, is we let the feeling overcome us instead of putting the logic on top and thinking, wow, I'm not supposed to feel like watching this, so because I don't feel like not doing it, I'm just going to go do it. But actually what you can is you don't have to let the feeling make the decision for you. You can use your logic and not do it. You can put your feelings aside. You really can. It's really possible to do that, and think logically about the consequences that happen, and not the feeling of the arousal, and know that the feeling of being tempted in that moment is going to fleet. It's fleeting. It's going to pass. You can do it. You don't need to watch it. You're not going to be alone. And another thing is, don't isolate yourself. One thing is, For example, if you go to church, know that there are people that are going to see right through you and are going to pick up something on you. They're going to pick up a dirty spirit on you. And it's going to be pretty embarrassing to come to church and someone can sense that thing on you. You don't want that. That's embarrassing. So just think about the accountability and also not having to confess to watching pornography or Cornelius. Not having to confess to that is such a relieving feeling, and you're not going to be tempted the temptation is going to pass. Just let it pass and do other things and pray to God and say, hey, I'm tempted right now, Lord. I really want to watch Cornelius and I can't. I so want to watch it. I'm excited. You know how I'm feeling right now. I need your help. I want to watch this. Stop me, please. And give your phone or your laptop or computer to someone. Embarrass yourself. Call someone. Go to their house if you can. If you can't go to their house, if you don't have anyone close to you right now to give those things, just do literally physically anything else that you can to not watch it. Because us giving into that stuff, if you have been battling for a long time to overcome it and to not watch it at all, is that you will just keep giving in to it if you and become complacent, and you're lazy. At this point, you're lazy. You need to stop being lazy. I know that doesn't sound really nice, and you shouldn't shame people if they are watching pornography. And that's right, you shouldn't shame people, but then there's a point where you're lazy. Take your phone and go put it in a jewelry box or whatever box and bury it in your garden if you can. Do whatever it takes. Don't destroy your things unless you have that kind of finances where you can destroy your phone, or just factory reset your phone and give it to a stranger. I don't know where you're at financially, but you don't need to go that far unless you really truly can, and you can get another phone in an hour. But give it to someone. Don't just throw it in the bin unless that's what it took for you to not give in. I don't know. Do what it takes. Just stop being lazy. Just stop watching Cornelius. Simple. I'm kidding. I've struggled many times. A lot of the times I've given in to temptation, and I've faced temptation quite a number of times these past few weeks. I have not given in because I've kept these tips in mind. What else can you do to stop? Write a book if you need to write a book about it. Think about this book. Write a book about how to overcome pornography. And then when you're tempted, go read that book that you're busy writing. Go start writing that book. One thing that makes you to be tempted more is being complacent in your temptation. Just sitting there and thinking, oh, I have to really endure this so much. I have to really, really endure this. And also, forgive me, I don't have a microphone yet. So I don't really know how this is going to sound until I don't know if I want to watch the video back. I might just upload it because if I watch the video, I'll be discouraged because I'm actually feeling a bit more comfortable, but there's some things that I want to work on aesthetically. I don't want to get a nose job or anything, but I do want to get my teeth fixed. So that is another thing that holds me back, and thinking that I have to have a perfect setup. And I don't have a microphone. I have a fan because it's pretty hot. And if I didn't have the fan, I think I would just forget to breathe. You know. So yeah, stop being lazy. Stop watching Cornelius. Do whatever it takes. And I say that as somebody who would give into it a lot. Really, I would give into it a lot. So I need to be compassionate, but at the same time, we don't have time to play around. At any point, Jesus could come back. And imagine he comes back, or you die. And imagine he comes back and you're watching Cornelius while he's coming from the sky. That's embarrassing. And that's the last thing you did. Also, I don't know if you're going to go to hell in the minute of that. I don't want to get into that, but there's consequences. There really are, and you do know that. You do know that. Think logically about those things and don't worry about feeling like you need to feel like you know. You do know the consequences. There are consequences, whatever you faced. There's some consequences that even I don't know about, but what can I say? You don't have to feel like not watching it to not watch it. You can't, although ideally you never feel like watching it again, but I'm talking about in the event of you being tempted. Don't let the feeling of, well, because I feel like watching it, therefore I can't resist the temptation. I have to watch it now because I feel like watching it. No, that's the part that you need to resist. Is right. That's the part that you need to override. Yeah, resist, override in a way. Resist that. And remember that there's no temptation that God won't walk you through that you will feel. So don't worry if you are 5 minutes into being tempted and you're still feeling tempted. Work it out with God. Get out of your house. Stop being lazy. Get out of your house. Go stand on the balcony if you have one. Because there's a lot of different living situations that people have. So I can't speak for every single situation. Just use your imagination and get out of the house if you need to. Go tell someone, embarrass yourself. Don't tell somebody that you don't have a good relationship with. Don't tell somebody, you can tell a stranger, but also that could be dangerous because then they could talk some nonsense to you. But don't go and tell someone that is going to use it against you, not someone that's going to, you can tell someone that's going to hold you accountable, but don't go and tell someone that, like a random roommate, if you have roommates, there's got to be some bond. I won't get too much into that because God can use anyone, really he can. So I would proceed with that one with caution of who you're going to tell in the moment. But yeah, stop being lazy and stop watching Cornelius. I might do a part 2 because I felt like I was quite vague. But the main thing is, don't let the feeling of being tempted think you've already lost and you haven't watched it yet. If you're tempted right now, you haven't watched it yet. You can still get out. You haven't watched it yet. You're just tempted. Just wait it out. Wait it out for that temptation to go away. You'll be fine. You really will. You won't die if you don't feed the temptation. If you don't feed it, the temptation will die. You won't die. You'll be fine. Really, you will. Trust me.